children shouldn't be penalised for being part of the large family. Our crystal correspondent Harry Wilson's in Westminster. And Harry, how likely is this to happen?
Well, it appears almost certain it's going to happen. This is the limit on families claiming benefits for more than 2 children introduced by the last Conservative government. It's something that Labour MPs have for a long time want to see abolished. They think it will lift around 350,000 children out of poverty. Now, for the past few months, the government has been dropping lots of hints this cap could go for the Prime Minister, for the Education Secretary, Bridget Phillipson. The former Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, has also long campaigned for this cap to be lifted. He repeated those calls this morning on Good Morning Britain. He said he's confident the Chancellor will take action in the upcoming budget. And Rachel Reeves today gave the strongest hint so far. She's prepared to listen to those calls.
Lots and lots of different reasons why families change shape and size over time, and I don't think that it's right when a child is penalised because they are in a bigger family through no fault of their own, and so we will take action on child poverty.
Now, depending on when this cap is fully lifted, it could cost the government around £3.5 billion per year. You can add that to the £30 billion that Rachel Reeves already needs to find in the upcoming budget. Another hint she dropped today is that she's prepared to break Labour's manifesto pledge not to increase income tax, something we've been hearing a lot about, of course, in recent weeks. We'll find out for sure what decisions she makes in just over 2 weeks' time.
Harry Westminster, many thanks indeed. Householders are being urged to protect themselves and their communities from unauthorised waste disposal services who illegally dump household waste. Environmental charity Keep This and Tidy found a scourge of flight tipping has grown across the country. Councils and local authorities are using tools to track down where the litter comes from and can influence large profits. Our resident reporter Tony Lowell went on the hunt for clues who have been detectives in history.
Criminals making them and someone else's problem. It's not just council money that they're wasting. More road traders are illegally dumping rubbish, and it's members of the public who are having to pay to clean up after them.
You two want to do the searching then? I'll do all the recording of the evidence taken up.
In Bristol, though, this team are determined to catch culprits and sifting through rubbish used to find the trace.
We can look to prosecute the actual person collecting the waste, and in certain circumstances we can actually take the vehicles they're using. We're noticing more now, it's going more towards like what we call the tipper truck lanes, transit vans, cars. So it's probably people that are collecting waste that aren't registered or local.
Every month, Bristol Council gets around 1,500 reports of incidents like this, and they say that 40% of fly tipping is from road traders. And what they want us to understand today is that whilst you may have used a company believing they were credible, you will also get fined for them breaking the law.
Keep It and Tidy is urging people to protect themselves and research who operators are before agreeing to use them. In the last year, the charity recorded 1.15 million fly tipping incidents, which it says cost around £150 million to clear and investigate.
So it's a huge cost to communities, cost to councils, and it's diverting resources away from the services that are in desperate need.
It is a problem that's only getting worse, not just for cash-strapped councils cleaning up after criminals. Communities are paying the price too. Sangeeta Lal, ITV News, Bristol.
You're watching the ITV Evening News. It's 4:54, 7 o'clock. Here's what's selected. Prince William gets candid about family life and navigating a challenging year, and when George might get his first phone.
I'll be live on the Yellow Brick Road at the premiere of Wicked for good, along the way to the second act, chatting with an A-list cast.
The famous faces heading to the jungle, the star-studded lineup on this year's I'm a Celeb.
And there is no doubt that we are in November. It's actually and the music starts to a brand new week right across the UK. And we have rain warnings in force for tomorrow, I'm afraid, I'll give you all the details. I will be later in the program.
But first, ITV News has learned that anorexia patients are managing to access so-called skinny jabs in order to lose weight. We contacted a major clinic in the UK that treats people with eating disorders, and 78% of those that responded told us their patients had admitted using weight loss injections over the last year. One woman who became so dangerously underweight that she was hospitalised told us how easy it is to buy the drug from online pharmacies. She said there were no checks on her medical records and she lost weight rapidly. The pharmaceutical regulator admitted there is a lot more work to be done. Our health correspondent Rebecca Baxter has this special report.
Florence was diagnosed with anorexia nervosa 4 years ago. Her education, friendship, family life all on hold as her health hurtles down a dangerous path.
It was like being on a roller coaster, and you know that the drop going to happen. So having these injections just accelerates that roller coaster.
Her decline hastened by a new dawn of weight loss drugs.
To have this new miracle cure that's going to make everything better, it's going to improve your body, and it's a bit like being dependent on drugs, and then you have drugs banging into your face. It's impossible to resist that.
Despite being unhealthily underweight, she was able to buy the jabs online for a year.
It was quite a well-known, respectable pharmacy. To get the injections, it was incredibly easy. Delivered to your house the next day. They don't check any of your doctor's details. They don't check in with anyone. I lost weight very rapidly.
Florence had to be admitted to hospital several times. At one point, she was so dangerously underweight, staff had to insert a feeding tube.
I was crushed. This daily life was impossible.
You haven't got the help then you've been looking for. What do you think?
I definitely would have kept on eating, and my weight would have kept dropping, and obviously could have been fatal.
Before selling weight loss injections, prescribers are meant to independently verify a person's weight and height through a video consultation, checking clinical records, or by contacting their GP. What do you think about the online pharmacies now that didn't do proper checks?
I don't know how they sleep at night, to be quite honest. They need to do further checks. It's disgusting. Imagine if this was your child.
Anorexia nervosa has the highest mortality rate of any mental illness. Add in weight loss jabs, and it's clear why eating disorder experts are so concerned. At this clinic in Oxfordshire, 60% of their recent clients have admitted misusing weight loss injections, even children. We contacted the major providers of eating disorders support, a total of 24 care groups that have multiple clinics across the UK. 14 responded. Almost 80% told us their eating disorder clients had admitted using weight loss injections over the last year. At this clinic in central London, they're seeing the problem increase month on month. The government has described weight loss medications as a potential game changer, promising to harness their powers to improve public health. But clearly, some people are harnessing the powers of these new drugs to harm their health. Psychotherapist Terry has seen some worrying cases.
Very, very physically overweight. She was fainting, she was shaking, which was really, really very unwell. Her partner, who was concerned that perhaps she had turned normal because of the rate at which she had lost weight, she looked so unwell when she came to us.
After treating so many people misusing the drug, she decided to investigate herself and see how easy they were to buy online with no background check.
Within 24 hours, all steps I had to get defense. So this drug can end up easily in the hands of people who don't know. And when you able to get hold of this drug in those separate pharmacies, yep, purchase pharmacies. She's regulating it. She's cracking down on it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got
not the manufacturer of the drug, thought it's the responsibility of prescribers to carry out the right check. So we took our findings to the regulator, the General Pharmaceutical Council. We spoke to one man who feels it was corrected. He suggested actually create a screening tool in which he would regularly follow tablets and injections. That's proof, if you like, that not following the insurance manual.
And any further reports that these cases have occurred? Really sorry that this has happened to her and to her family and to others who may have been similarly affected.
It might seem like this regulator is toothless, but it's failing to protect the most vulnerable in society. She admits it right now.
There's a lot of work that we've already done to help keep patients safe. We are routinely inspecting pharmacies, hundreds of pharmacies, regularly across Great Britain. There is more that we will have to do.
Florence hopes, for the sake of others like her, they do more soon. Rebecca Barry, ITV News.
And if you've been affected by the story of the eating disorder help and support, you can visit our website. That's itv.com/news. Let's get an update on what's making the news tonight. Donald Trump is tonight threatening to sue the BBC for $1 billion after Director General and Head of News both quit over a panorama documentary, which misleadingly edited the Washington speeches. He sets the BBC a deadline of Friday to make amends or face legal action. The corporation's chair, Suresh Shah, has apologized for the editing of the US president's speech, admitting it was an error of judgment, but he insisted that it was not institutional bias. Please get the latest from Washington on those legal threats to the president. Joined by US President Dan Davis there, and Dan, it's fair to say it's something not to see, and he does love ultimatums, so how serious is this threat?
I think it's extremely serious.
I'll probably sound. Well, I'll go back to normal, thanks.
And it basically sets out
what I mean?
demands it's asking first of all for
The news overall,
second of all for that panoramic documentary to be so formally retracted, and thirdly for President Trump to be absolutely but they put a deadline to get those three things being this Friday. And if they don't get those three things, this letter says, then they'll sue the BBC, they say, $4 and Donald Trump has got a long track record of suing the media, especially in his second term here. In recent months, he sued ABC and CBS, both settling with them for figures of around $15–16 million respectively. He's also gone on to try and sue CNN, the New York Times,
and you've been trying to make it around in it.
some of those cases are still pending. You can see that he's an extremely litigious individual, and has in some of these cases successfully gained several $1 million in compensation for their reporting. The big question, obviously, is what happens next. In this letter, they are saying that the applicable law in this case, they claim, is Florida law, but the BBC now has a real dilemma. Either it seems it has to do what he's asking by this Friday, or potentially face a very expensive case, possibly in Florida, where its journalism will be put under a forensic microscope.
Daniel Washington, thank you. Next, and the Prince of Wales has revealed he too has been battling with his children over an issue facing many modern parents. Speaking to a broadcaster in Brazil, William said not allowing 12-year-old Prince George to have a mobile phone has become a little bit tense. As Caroline Vincent reports, the Prince also joked that he and Catherine have become their children's taxi drivers. How are you? Welcome in the name of our county, my county. We were super excited for your arrival. On a first visit to Brazil for the Prince of Wales, there was time made for some sightseeing with Brazilian television, and a long way from home, some reflections on the tension in modern France.
Okay. But I think he understands why we're very communicate why we don't again, I think it's the internet
Communication, though, is important to this family after cancer diagnoses for the Princess of Wales and the King. The approach with the children was to be as open as possible.
we choose to communicate with our children. That has good things and bad things, and including sharing our children's connections. But most of the time, hiding something doesn't help. Sometimes helps give them a bigger picture, and they can relax from it rather than be anxious about what you're hiding from them. There's a lot of questions that go into answers. But it's about
William was in Brazil to hand out his Earthshot Prize ahead of the climate summit, which begins William was reminded by his interviewer of his mother's visit here more than 3 decades ago when she broke taboo during pictures of an HIV clinic. So some have clearly broken his record during this visit as a similar Southern Water says plastic beads that washed up on a beach in East Sussex are highly likely to have come from its treatment works. The water company said they are doing everything possible to investigate and resolve the problem at Camber Sands. It believes the beads used in the water treatment process had come from its Eastbourne wastewater treatment works and were released into the sea during heavy rainfall. And the Post Office has agreed a deal to use the controversial accounting software Horizon until 2027 at a cost of £41 million. It says it's committed to moving away from Horizon as soon as possible and finding another supplier. Now, Wicked fans will soon be able to see the long-awaited second part of the hits movie. Wicked for Good is being released cinemas next week. And tonight, both its main stars, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, are in London's Leicester Square for the film's premiere. Our entertainment reporter Rishi Dufner is there too, on the Yellow Brick Road, no less. Has it been worth the wait for this movie?
Well, it's been 357 days since we had the premiere in London for Wicked. Now we're back for Wicked Good. It's part 2. The film adaptation of the musical is a contender for the longest interval of all time, and having seen it, I can tell you it is definitely worth the wait. The first made more than 500 million at the box office. The hope will be this could do even better. The first was nominated for 10 Oscars and 7 BAFTAs, and just last week, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo found out that they were nominated for a Grammy Award for the famous song Defying Gravity. I spoke to them a little while ago and asked what it was like to find out they were nominated whilst together promoting their next film.
Really special. That was amazing. No. It's like a real moment in time. It's really special.
This is a movie-making experience like no other, in that you filmed it a couple of years ago, then you waited a while and put out the first film, and then another year to put out the second film. Has it really tested your patience as actors in not being able to give away these secrets and these spoilers and these Easter eggs?
Really wonderful. Stephen Schwartz is incredible, and the fact that we've been able to have a piece of his wonderful brain and his wonderful creativity in these two new songs that sort of move both of their narratives forward and tell their stories just that bit more is really beautiful. It's really wonderful.
Now, the film has brought a whole new audience to the world of the original musical, and Wicked for Good is out in cinemas a week on Friday, bringing to an end this chapter of the story of Galinda the Good and the Wicked Witch of the West.
Rishi in Leicester Square, thank you. flamingo escaped from a wildlife park in Cornwall has been spotted more than 200 miles away in France. Frankie disappeared over a week ago and has since been spotted in Brittany. Her journey is all the more impressive because she has a clipped right wing. Paradise Park says they are amazed at the distance she's travelled and relieved to see her looking so fit. That's still to come. The stars heading to the celebrity jungle. Did your favourites make the cut?
And here at Leomani in Essex, it has been a frothy start to a brand new week, and there's rain warnings in force for tomorrow, and then cold weather moving in from the north for the end of the week. Lots going on. I'll give you all the details next.
And join me and Becky for that in just a few minutes.
With ITVX Premium, you can skip the ads and stay deep in the moment. Stream ad-free with ITVX Premium.
Like Ojo Time, check out all new world of Play Ojo Bingo. Now, Paradise, your New Zealand attributes, plus babes like Equalizer, packed with bigger prizes and more chances to win. So go to our new site and get 500 free bingo tickets when you spend £10. But money back on everything. Maybe the whoever's in charge of making the football. We must say, and you
Well, now Becky is deep in the